Hi, I'm Sweet Sylvanians and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as calico critters. But today I'm actually talking about another brand, and that is Lil Woodsies. They are often seen as a cheaper alternative to Sylvanian families, and I want to see if they're comparable. So when I saw this theatre building on Amazon for just £6.30, I thought this would be a good opportunity to compare. I don't have a Sylvanian theatre, so I thought it could also work in my collection. So this is the Honeysuckle Theatre. It doesn't come with any figures and is just the building and accessories. The box is quite large and the picture on the front has it set up with some of the Lil Woodsies figures. I'm not really a fan of these, so probably won't be buying any. This side of the box has their website, and on the back it shows the building from a different view and shows a couple of the play features too. The text at the bottom lists everything included in several languages. And then on the other side is more graphics which aren't to do with theatre. So let's open it up. Okay, so here is the building. I took out the packaging off camera and we'll look at the furniture piece by piece. There's some picture instructions. It's plain on the back, and this bag has all the small accessories mixed together. The building itself is actually quite realistic colours. It's mostly brown and cream with some red and white awnings and burgundy curtains. The blue roof is the only thing which really stands out. It's also quite a spacious building with moulded and built-in parts rather than lots of removable furniture. The one thing I don't like is that the plastic is pretty shiny and feels less solid than Sylvanians. This wall has a long brown cabinet on, and there are some moulded details too. The 3 doors open. That last one was a little stiff, but they stay open and close fairly easily. The door is nice, with moulded curtains on there too. And these posters came with the stickers already on. I will probably replace these with Sylvanian pictures instead, though I like the idea of them. The moulding at the top of the wall has an acorn and leaf design, which I think is lovely. This part in the middle has a mark on there. I think it's maybe a splash of paint from somewhere. The arches are also a really nice architectural detail. The flooring is dark brown with a tile and star pattern on the main part and a floorboard effect where the stage goes. The screen area has some big curtains around it, again in the hard plastic, and this ledge is supposedly to put a phone on to play videos. The picture slides out. It's just a piece of card with a Lil Woodsies shopping street scene on this side and a simple countryside graphic on the other. It would be easy to take these dimensions and make more options for the screen. The outside of the building is cream too, and I like that this isn't just plain, but some paint would have really helped these parts stand out more, like the popcorn machine and the sign for auditions. The front of the theatre looks really nice. I love the stars by the name above the door, and the posters have Now Playing and Coming Soon on their frames. This door feels quite stuck. There, that took quite a bit of pressure to open. I felt like I might break it. It might be tricky for children to open and close. But this part on the side is a ticket booth. Again, a really nice detail, though the ticket sign could do with being in a different colour to make it stand out. This side has 2 open windows and another gold rope. The tops of the posts look like acorns. So there, that is the building. I like the more natural colours, though some of the moulded parts are lost by not having them in a different colour. It feels fairly well made, but I'm not a fan of the shiny parts. Also, it feels a shame to have it this way round when the outside of the building is so detailed. but we need to bring in the furniture. So first of all, this is the stage. It is in a different tone of brown, with a floorboard effect on top. The outside is quite a bright blue, with a pattern that goes all the way round. You could keep this separate, but I'm going to put it where they suggest. The other big piece is this red sofa. This is very shiny, and it feels like it would be quite close to the floor, as it's not very tall. The backrest has a tufted effect going on, while the seat part is smooth. And as is the back. So let's pop that in front of the stage. And we can move on to this bag containing all the other accessories. And move them out of the way. So this is the camera. It fits onto the blue tripod. That doesn't really feel secure. The tripod has some black marks on, and the camera is a fairly simplified shape, but it's obvious what it is. So let's put that behind the sofa. Next I have this popcorn machine. It's red, though there's this blue mark on the side. There's some nice details all over. And the popcorn inside has a different texture. To go along with the popcorn machine is this box of popcorn. It's labelled on the front with red and white stripes, and it's yellow on top. The painting isn't great, and I can see the red underneath. It's also hollow and kind of wonky. I'm not sure if it's meant to be like that. There's more snacks in this set too. So this is a bag of crisps, but Little Woodsies is American, so it's labelled as chips instead. It's solid yellow and the same on both sides. Then a solid red bar of chocolate, which is plain on the other side. There's 2 pretzels. These have some texture on top, but it looks kind of like sprinkles rather than the salt flakes I'd expect. It's flat on the base. These are cute though. Next, these 2 are supposedly slushies. I think they look more like tubs of ice cream. I don't think these are great. With a solid colour, they lack the detail that I would expect. And the same goes for these 2 drinks. The shape of them is nice, but the green feels out of place and unrealistic. Whereas, I quite like this water bottle. The main part is clear and the lid is solid. These are 2 food baskets in a pastel pink plastic. For instance, the pretzel and slushie can fit in like this. This also has a blue mark on the corner, and I think mine is slightly misshapen. That's it for the food, but there's also a microphone. I quite like the effect of the wire around the stand, but it's a shame some of the painting has come off. It fits onto the holes in the stage. To finish up, there's a pair of 3D glasses. I like that there are actual lenses in them. They are kind of frosted, but you can sort of see through them still. And finally, there are 2 tickets made out of card. They're the same on each side. Okay, so moving on, the main thing I want to know is if this suits Sylvanian families. Here I have Lionel from the Grand Piano concert set. I think he is dressed to perform at the theatre or maybe work there. So let's put him on the stage. The microphone is a great size and he fits on the stage fine too. On the ground, Lionel looks a good size compared to the door and wall heights. So I can bend his legs like this and move his arms up slightly. Yeah, I think that looks good on the seat. He's the right height to be looking at the screen too. 3D glasses actually look pretty good on him. Although I'm not sure how well he'd be able to see out of them. Next, here is Freya Chocolate from the Seaside Friends set. As a child figure, she's slightly smaller than Lionel, but can still sit down fine on here. Baby Creme also works, as does Sitting Baby Breeze Chocolate. She's from the Baby Magical series blind bags. The popcorn is pretty big compared to Breeze, and Freya too. It kind of fits in her lap if she's sitting down, so that does work. Now, I have other Sylvanian Families popcorn too, so I wanted to compare them to the Little Woodsies one. This one is from the Baby Shopping series blind bags. It's just missing its sticker. They're both quite tall, but the popcorn colour really stands out as being different. I think the Sylvanian one is way more realistic. I've never seen popcorn as yellow as the one on the right, but the Little Woodsies carton is better. If I wasn't missing the sticker, I think the Sylvanian one would look good too. This other popcorn is from the popcorn cart and is much smaller. What I like about this one is that the popcorn can come out like this. The colour difference between the two is also really stark. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together with some figures inside the building too. The Sandy Cats are buying tickets and the Chocolate Rabbit's already inside. Oh, everybody's fallen over. Okay, there. So that is the Little Woodsies Honeysuckle Theatre. The scale definitely works for Sylvanian Families, and I like that I now have entertainment for the figures in my collection. I guess the most comparable Sylvanian Families building would be the Ballet Theatre, which I don't own and isn't in production anymore, but that has a more elegant feel than this theatre. The Little Woodsies set would look excellent with the Sylvanian theatre seating Baby Duos, which were released last year for the film in Japan. Unfortunately, those are quite expensive now, but I'd love to see them and this building combined. I think the Little Woodsies set is let down by the accessories, which had quite a few defects and marks. I don't know if this is because they were all together in a bag, so knocked against each other, unlike Sylvanian Families accessories, which are usually kept separate and kind of safer. The building also feels less weighty and not as good quality as Sylvanian Families, which is fine for the price I paid of £6, but right now it's on Amazon for just shy of £22, which I think is definitely overpriced. I'm not opposed to buying more Little Woodsies buildings if they release any interesting ones, but probably won't be buying furniture or accessories because I just don't think the quality is there, and I'd rather buy some second-hand Sylvanian Families furniture instead. So overall, if you like this building and find it for less than, say, £10, I think it could be a good addition to a collection. But what do you think? Do you own any other brand buildings in your Sylvanian Families collection, or anything from Little Woodsies? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching this video. We'll be back to Sylvanian Families after this. If you like that sort of content, then subscribe to my channel, as I post unboxings, news and reviews every week.